Hello everyone. I'm Tanidhi Maranshi. South Asia is the southern region of Asia, which is defined in both geographical and ethnocultural terms. The region consists of the countries of Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, the Maldives, and Sri Lanka. Let's see early childhood care and development in these countries. Abbreviations. Early childhood care and development in India. This is my content. Officially, the Republic of India is a country in South Asia. It is the second most populous country, the seventh largest country by land area, and the most populous democracy in the world. Bounded by the Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea on the southwest, and the Bay of Bengal on the southeast. It shares land borders with Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan to the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. Evolution and new trends in early childhood education in the country. In 1911, there were under 3 primary schools for every 10 villages. The aim of early childhood care and education is to facilitate optimum development of the child's full potential and lay the foundation for all-round development and lifelong learning. How early childhood education works in the country. The National Early Childhood Care and Education Curriculum framework comprises of broadly 3 sections. Section 1. The objectives of early childhood education, pedagogical basis and principles of early learning are laid out. Section 2. Physical, language, cognitive, social, emotional and creative and aesthetic appreciating to be fostered to ensure holistic development of children under 6 years. It comprises of suggested developmentally appropriate practices for different age groups. Section 3. Stage of program planning, principles of program planning, role of parent and caregivers, teachers, essential play materials and assessment producer. The issues need to be addressed proactively to ensure universal access to integrated services towards fulfillment of right to free, universal pre-primary education. In recent times, many children are receiving early education and care outside the home in the child care centers, preschool programs and other community-based early learning settings. Gandhi, Tagore, Sri Aurobindo, Gujabi Beta and Terabi Modak were the first Indian to conceptualize a child-centered approach to the care and education of young children. They were of the view of that education must be imparted in the child's mother tongue. and should be connected with the child's social and cultural environment, and the community should be actively involved in the learning process. Since language is true vehicle of self-expression, a child can freely express its thought in mother language. Curriculum and teaching methods. Early childhood care and education compass the inseparable elements of care, health, nutrition, play, and early learning within a protective and enabling environment. As children grow and learn, they explore, endure, make discoveries, and apply their understanding to become self-regulated, lifelong learners. Furthermore, they are sensitive to diversity and communicative, caring, and creative in their relationship with people and environment. Principles of early learning and development and its implications for practice. Learning begins from birth. Development and learning result from a continuous interaction of biological maturation and experience. Children learn and develop in a stimulating environment. Children have curiosity and desire to learn. Effective planning is an essential prerequisite for an early child care and education program. The following elements of planning are imperative for effective transaction in the early child care and education centers. These are the stages of planning: long-term planning, medium-term planning, and short-term planning. How early childhood education works in India. Child direct assessment. Domains measures memory, motor skills, perception, speech, numeracy. Purpose: identification and evaluation of children with the four delays. Determine cognitive ability of a child. Age, year developed, and have reliability and validity been established in LMICs. School Readiness Index. Domain measure pre-numeracy, cognitive and concept, pre-literacy and language concept. Year developed 2008. Purpose: impact evaluation. Caregiver and teacher rating and reports. Domain measured: communication and general knowledge, emotional maturity, language and cognitive development, physical health and well-being, social competence. Purpose: population monitoring. Age 3.5 to 6.5 years. Year developed 1998 in Canada. Have reliability and validity been established in LMICs? Yes. Measures of the early learning environment. Domain measures: creative activities, fine motor and gross motor activity, infrastructures, language and reasoning experiences, personal care and routine, physical learning aids, social development. Purpose: guide country, has been used a connection with a child outcomes. Age preschool. Have reliability and validity been established in LMICs? No. Year developed 2000. Early childhood education quality assessment scales. These are my findings for domain measures. purpose has been used to connection with children's outcomes. Early childhood development and national policies. The newly formed League of Nations (LON) established a Committee on the Child Welfare in 1919. In 1924, the LON adopted the Geneva Declaration, a historical document that recognized and affirmed for the first time the existence of rights specific to children and the responsibility of adults towards children, which represents the first global expression of universally protecting fundamental human rights, pronounced the special rights of, which represents the global expressions of universal protecting fundamental human rights, pronounced that special rights of the child for the first time by providing that one of the earliest instruments to have recognized the child's rights to protection was the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights 12, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1966. In 1978, Health for All Declaration expressed the need to address improvement in nutrition of both the mother and the child. The first legally binding international document concerning child rights for the Convention on the Right of the Child 1989. Maternity Protection Convention in 2000. The General Conference of the International Labour Organization adopted the Maternity Protection Convention. Education for All Declaration in 1990. In a general discussion in 2004 dedicated to the theme of implementing child rights in early childhood. National Plan of Action for Children in 2005. Assam Public Health Act in 2010. National Early Childhood Care and Education Policy in 2013. In order to promote equality of all women and the workforce and the health and safety of the mother and child. Mentions among its objectives the provision of access to primary health care services as an entitlement. Public contribution and private sector contribution. Government contribution and non-government contributions. These are my findings. How to substitute for Sri Lanka. India has a tradition of valuing the early years of child's life and rich heritage of cultural practice for stimulating development and including sanskar or basic values and social skills in children. Each child requires a safe and nurturing environment to develop optimally. Children with special needs and their families need assistance and information regarding prognosis and early intervention in order to support optimal development of children. These are my references. Thank you.